Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Jeremy, founder of QuickMail.io.
And this is Amar with ZenMaid.
Today, a quick rapid fire, although I'm sure it won't be that rapid, but the fire will be there for sure.
The questions will be rapid. The
That's
fire will
right.
remain.
Love it. So basically, it's around the theme of starting a new business. Lots of questions. I remember when I started my business a long time ago. Unfortunately, I say unfortunately because there's still that glamorous thing about starting a new business, but it's still quite present in terms of like the questions I had in my head. So I'm going to ask a few questions, and Amar and I are just going to try to hopefully diffuse some of the confusion and help clarify some of your views. Good to go, my friend?
Let's do it. I'm going to try to keep all my responses to one sentence, and it is not going to go well. Let's try it.
It's a long sentence with lots of commas. All right. So I want to start a business. I'm currently in my 9 to 5 jobs. I'm planning on leaving it. Should I start by finding a co-founder first?
It depends.
Great. Next questions.
um yeah, no, but honestly, I think that it does depend. I think that you should be of the mindset that you are going to move forward without a co-founder. So to me, it's you
Love
should
it.
start by working on the business in whatever capacity that you would plan on doing that. And one of the tasks around building the business would be potentially finding a co-founder if you find like the right person. If you're going to spend a bunch of time looking for a co-founder and not taking any real action on your business until you find that co-founder, then you probably need to rethink like, your strategy, right? And this is not one sentence, obviously. And it'll be a hell of a lot easier to find a co-founder if you're already doing the work. That's what your future co-founder wants to see you doing the work.
Yeah, otherwise you're two people with absolutely no idea of what to do. That your business will go
Mhm.
nowhere. Yeah, I would say a few more things like don't think you need to have a co-founder. That's also another thing. Does your business really require a co-founder? And if you're only starting a business and you've never done business before, it's very hard to judge what a co-founder should be. But if you really want to go out a co-founder, usually, try maybe to find people you already has relationship with. Maybe you worked with that person, for a long time, and then you kind of like know how each of your guys are working. And getting alignment is super important. So make sure you guys are in for the same thing, like long term, right? And you got the same sort of shared vision. I think that will help. Next
Yep.
questions.
Yep, do it.
All right, I've been trying to start a business for 5 years. Should I keep trying?
Yes.
Well, I'm not 100% sure on the yes for. It
So
depends.
I yeah, I mean it's always going to be it depends. Yeah, it's always going to be that. But personally, I think that a lot of people experience a lot of personal growth through like entrepreneurship. So if you've been trying for 5 years, like I do think that you need to consider whether it's time, to go back and get a job if you've been trying this for 5 years. But I would say really under no circumstances should you be giving up unless you've decided that working a job is what's going to sort of give you like the work life balance that you want. I don't think there's any shame in folks with families deciding to just go back and work like a job and just make money and be there for the family and like and all of that stuff. But you want to make that decision for the right reasons, right? And if that's not what you want, then the answer is no. Maybe take a break if you need a break, but get back to it.
Yeah, I'll say reconsider as well what you're doing. Because if it's 5 years and it's
Hmm.
not leading to any results, it's probably that something's been doing wrong. Like on a personal level, I remember I've been doing 15 years the wrong type of thing, which is like you build something and then you try to sell it. As soon as I revert it, I try to sell it first and then build it next. Then everything went actually much, much easier. So it could depends on your situation for that point. And the other thing is
Yeah.
that a lot of time you have to also know yourself, and sometimes it is glamour to be a founder, but it also requires some set of skills that not everyone likes to have. A good example is, do you actually like to touch to a lot of things, or do you actually love to actually go really deep on just one thing? And if you love to go really deep on just one thing, like become the best in the world at, I don't know, 3D, mathematics, computing, whatever, it's much harder to actually develop all the skills that you need to be a founder, because you will need way more skill than just the execution, like knowledge, skill on one thing. So maybe you can partner then with someone who has the sort of like business acumen, or like he's more generalist than you are, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, next questions. I have a great product, but no one wants to buy it. What do I do?
You don't have a great product.
Nice.
um, no, I mean, like, well, yeah. So the first thing is, for everyone else listening to this, don't make this mistake and don't build a product that you haven't already validated that there is demand for and figured out some of the sales and marketing components for before like building. Um, yeah, like figure out your niche, um, and niche down beyond what you need to in order to get your first 10 customers. So if you're focused on like tennis clubs, for example, and you're selling software to tennis clubs, instead what you could do is you could go, okay, like Florida is one of like the best states for people that play tennis. I'm literally just going to send cold emails to just tennis clubs like in Florida and make the email something to do with Florida and just find my first like 5 customers. So it's just like niche down as far as you possibly can to just speak directly to a couple of those first people like that you need. And if you're listening to this and you're thinking, I don't know who those potential customers are, then you need to like rethink what this product is that you've built and who it's great for. Because I'm sure, mythical listener, that it is a great product.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I agree. More customer development. That's what you need to do. It could
mm,
be could be
yeah.
just one pivot away from something actually working, but you need to talk to your
Hmm.
clients. So good example is the Airbnb mattress stuff, right? But by talking to your clients, you will understand that, oh, maybe this actually would work. And then you could always, ask them like, would you actually buy if I change this? And if they say yes, then you change it. And then it's all good. Maybe you pivot for the good, right? So more customer
Hmm.
development. Yeah, definitely. All right, next questions. Don't know where to start in marketing. Any advice?
Yeah, pretty much the same thing we just said. I think it's almost the same question, really. I mean, I guess the only thing that I would add there is like figure out where your customers hang out
Exactly.
online and offline and go to them there and just like learn about them and spend a couple of weeks just like joining the communities, chatting with people, just asking genuine questions. Don't try to sell anything, don't tell anyone about what you're working on. Just genuinely try to become like a part of the community, and that'll pay massive dividends for you going forward.
Agree. For me, I will say start with education when you don't know where to start, right? Try to educate, maybe, build some stuff for education and then promote those things, because it's much easier to promote those things than actually promoting your product itself. Would that work?
Yeah.
But don't take it
Yeah.
from my words. I'm not a marketing person.
Yeah,
All
no,
right.
agreed. And what I would actually do there is
Yeah.
I would do a combination of the two. So go to the places online, like what I was saying, learn about like your target audience, and then see if you can put together something of value. So the example here is for ZenMaid. When we started ZenMaid, I had run my own maid service before, and I had looked up all of the keywords to rank for like any maid service, because cleaning terms are the same all over like the United States. And so we put that into a spreadsheet and then shared the spreadsheet with people. And that's what we did in groups early on, which is exactly like Jeremy's idea. And so we went into all of the communities, shared that resource, and that's how we initially like built our list.
But remember, it took 5 years to ZenMaid before, becoming the king,
Yeah.
right? So it's a long game. It's a long game.
Definitely a long game.
All right, final questions. I'm
Yeah.
bootstrap. I'm making profit. Where should I reinvest my profits?
I'm bootstrapped, I'm making profit. So with that, I think it comes down to a breakdown kind of your goals. Um, and sort of what you're looking to like to prioritize. So for me, I definitely felt like for ZenMaid that I wanted to grow the business and continue growing the business until I could get it to the point that it would continue growing with a team in place without me being there day to day, right? And so I wasn't interested in profitability anytime really before we sort of hit that point, and now I'm a bit more interested.
Mm. So for me, it's a bit, it will be that it depends type of question for me, because it depends on what's your goal. It could be
Yeah.
that I've done a lot of things unconventional when I started Quickmail. Like, for example, everyone told me to get a co-founder. I didn't get a co-founder. Lots of people offered me money to found, Quickmail. I didn't take any founder, any money. So I was totally bootstrap as well. But I think for my first profits, I think went just to my pocket for, fixing my financial freedom first. And so you have to ask yourself, like, do you want to keep on doing the work yourself for, a very long time until, you then go ahead and then build a team? So for me, it was like I needed my financial freedom first, and then after that, I could look into doing other things. But um, if you it depends on you, right? In that sense, so you will probably grow slower. You may miss opportunities as well, if you reinvest in a business. But it could also give you the peace of mind that you know that your family, if you have a family, that your family is well taken care of, and you're not going to end up on the street if your business suddenly fail. Because it's a game of like, if you keep on piling up and doubling down on things, it could also well go belly up. And then in this case, you lost sort of like not everything, because you still have the expertise, you still have, people you can talk to, and then you can probably come back quicker. But still, it's a pretty big drawback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we definitely like we've always operated with like a healthy profit margin. Um, and so we've never pushed it to that point, but we have reinvested more than we needed to back in the business, that we easily could have like been running at a 30 or 40% profit margin and been doing more of the work like ourselves. And we just never had any interest in doing that, mainly because it wasn't like a long-term solution. So yeah, but I mean, I think that's one of the reasons that it took so long for ZenMaid to pay off for me, right? That I think that that's why I struggled for the first, 5, like 6 years before like financially ZenMaid really began taking care of me.
Yeah, and for me, it's the opposite. It's like, Quickmail was taking good financial care of me, but then it was just me on the job, and then it was, very difficult to make it a company. So been doing the opposite
Hmm.
journey. Depends where you're coming
Yeah.
from, but definitely, Quickmail would have been so much bigger if I had reinvested properly the benefit into the business, and I had the
Hmm.
know-how and the saviness, which I didn't have at the time, to actually really build a
Hmm.
team, really go into marketing, and really, all sort of thing. So I guess probably a mix of those two. Don't bet everything on the farm, but at the same time,
Hmm.
you could definitely invest part of this money in either taking back your time, or maybe paid ads, or like something else that is like a channel that is working to actually accelerate the thing. I guess it's pretty much like a personal choice, really, at that point, as to what you want to
Yeah.
do, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So with ZenMaid, we're at the point now where we're a bit more calm about things, not investing like as much, pulling out a little bit more like profits, but still like focused on like on growth, but not to the same extent that we were before. So yeah, it's going to just depend a lot on situations and like stuff like that.
Yeah, the same for me. It changed drastically. Like, and my priority is always reinvesting. The profits is way different now than it used to be, because now I want a
Hmm.
bigger team. I want to involve more, to get more projects done and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
yeah. All right. So no, it will evolve, but it's only you that can make the decision.
Yeah. If you're struggling with that, drop us a DM on Twitter. It's just Damar, Jay Chatelain. Let us know. Maybe not Jeremy. Drop me a
Yeah.
message.
No. Yeah.
Jeremy won't reply.
Has to be really good and personalized.
Yeah, yeah. You can
All right.
send Jeremy a cold email using
That's right.
quickmail.io and he'll respond.
That's obviously I will. All right. Thanks, Amal. Good one.
All right.
Bye.